Nutrition facts labels are found on most processed foods. So what are processed foods? Processed foods are foods that when you have it in its natural form, you do something to it to make it either more convenient, or you cook it, or you juice it, or you package it in some way. And so nutrition facts labels are really important because whenever you have these types of foods, you can use them to choose better or even healthier choices. But a nutrition facts label is not usually used. And why is that? That's because many people don't know how to read it. And there are a lot of numbers, percentages, nutrients, and different kinds of foods to prepare. So because of that, we're going to break it down and introduce the different facts of the nutrition facts label. What we can't do in this video is go too much into detail about the individual nutrients, so please see other videos for those details. So the first thing of the nutrition facts label to focus on are the serving size or servings per container. So, for example, if I had a can of juice, and in that juice, the serving size was half a cup, and the servings per container was 2, that would mean that if I drank the entire can of juice, I would have to multiply everything in the nutrition facts label by 2. And that would give me the total calories, for example, that I drank if I drank the entire juice. Now, serving size is important when you're comparing different types of the same thing. So let's say this juice was juice A, and I wanted to compare it to juice B. And the serving size for juice A, as I said before, is half a cup, and the serving size for juice B is 1 cup. I would have to make the serving size equal so that I can compare the different nutrients and see if I drink the whole can of A versus the whole can of B, how much am I going to get? So, in order to get it to the same, I would have to multiply everything in A by 2 if I was having the same serving size. So the next thing to pay attention to are calories. So calories are important because calories are the unit of energy that you have too much of will lead to weight gain, and if you have too little of, will lead to weight loss. So depending on what your goals are, you might want to stay here, you might want to go here or go here. So once you figure out how many calories you need, you want to find out what kind of things are you getting for the calories. And those things that you get for the calories are called nutrients. Now there are certain nutrients called macronutrients that come with calories. Those nutrients are actually on the bottom of this label, and that could be protein, carbs, and fat. Now the thing about protein, carbs, and fat are that proteins and carbs are each 4 calories per gram, and kcal is another word for calories. For fat, it's 9 calories per gram, and that's why people might be worried if you have a food that is high in fat, because more than likely it's going to be high in calories too. So, as you may notice, on this nutrition facts label, you do have the macronutrients here, right? So for protein, you'll have it here. For carbs, you'll have it here. And for fats, you'll have it here. So for the middle of the nutrition facts label, you will find things that you get for your calories, the nutrients. So the nutrients, there are certain types that you want to promote and things that you want to limit. So things to promote would be polyunsaturated fats, monounsaturated fats, dietary fiber, protein, the vitamins and minerals on the bottom. Things that you might want to limit are saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, sodium, sugar, and maybe some things that you might find in the ingredients section. So a question might come up of, okay, so I know the calories, I know what I'm getting for the calories, but how does that relate to me? How does that relate to you? So what the people who made the nutrition facts label did was that they used a reference of 2,000 calories for the average American or the people in the States on how much percent of their daily value are they getting from these different things. So as a reference for the daily value, you might get things that fall above 20% or below 5%. If it's below 5%, that's another way of saying that's a low source or poor source of a certain nutrient. If it's more than 20%, that's actually a good source of a certain nutrient. The next thing, other than the percentage daily value, are to look at the ingredients. Ingredients are particularly important because ingredients appear in the order of most to least in terms of the amount in the food. So the first ingredient would be the most in that food. If the first ingredient was, for example, whole wheat, that would mean that that product or that grain, if you're looking at whole wheat bread, for example, is a good thing. If you found, for example, that in a whole wheat bread, the first ingredient was enriched wheat flour and not whole wheat flour, then you know that it's something that has more refined grains than it has whole grains. And that's the nutrition fact cycle.